Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through my top 5 favourite exercises to combat balance and coordination issues in MS, and these are all exercises that I have done since 2017 when I had a very intense first relapse with MS. A lot of these exercises will target the two halves of the body, because if there's one thing that the human body is amazing at, it is amazing at adapting. So for me, my weaker side is my left side, and it is so easy for my left side to just take a back seat and let my right side do all of the work. So I really love doing isolation exercises that really specifically target the two halves of the body to really fire up my weaker side and get all the electrical messages flowing around my nervous system and just improving the scars and lesions that I have in my brain. All of these exercises can be adapted to your personal ability. Only you can listen to your body, so make sure you're hearing what it's saying. You don't want to push yourself too hard, and we don't want injuries, because that is just not what we're about here. I recommend doing some of the exercises if you are really at the start of your journey into improving your balance and coordination, with either a TRX cable against a wall that you can put your hands on and lean against, or holding a chair, as these will all help support your balance. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first exercise I'm going to do, I learnt whilst having outpatient neurophysio sessions. That was a bit of a mouthful. But yeah, when I came out of hospital, I love the NHS, but unfortunately, there is a waiting list for outpatient neuro-specific physiotherapists, which is fair enough. So my family and I decided just to go straight for it and get some private sessions. I think I only had about 3, but they honestly were amazing, and my physio, I literally would worship her because she was just brilliant. And this exercise is stolen from her. So what we're going to do is we are going to stand and imagine that we are standing in the middle of a clock, and on each side of the body we're going to lean on and balance on one leg, and we're going to go around pointing with the other leg to all of the numbers on a clock face, 12 through to 12 again. So we're going to stand on one leg and picture the numbers in our mind, and we're going to point one leg, 12, 1, 2, 3, etc., all the way around until we get back to the top. And then once we have done that, we are going to then lean and balance on the other leg and do the exact same thing. Now, this exercise I used to do all of the time. You might not be able to believe it, but there was one point where I literally could not even stand up, let alone standing on one leg. And if I stood on one leg, it was like the earth underneath me was shaking. There was just no connection between my body and my brain. So I was standing on one leg, and I honestly, if I closed my eyes, could not even point to it because I just could not feel it. But I would do this exercise all of the time whilst waiting for a cup of tea to brew, whilst waiting for my pasta to boil, whilst waiting for the microwave to ding. All of these periods of time when you're just stood around, you can practice this exercise. If it's too much for you, start by literally balancing on one leg. And then as you get stronger at doing that, you can add in the other leg movements. The next exercise we're going to do is a split squat. Now, I am a gym goer. I hit leg day, twice a week if I'm having a good week. And I always still, to this day, am jealous of the people who do split squats, do this exercise with heavy dumbbells in each arm and just make it look like the easiest thing ever. Because I still struggle doing this exercise too. What we're going to do is we're going to basically split up a squat. So we're going to squat with one leg instead of 2. This really challenges my balance. Like, this really challenges me and challenges my coordination. So what we're going to do is, and you can do this using a bench if you're in the gym. If you're at home, you can do it using a chair. I'm obviously using the sofa, but we're going to stand parallel to the sofa and then balance on one leg and put the other leg behind us, resting on the bench or sofa, whatever you're using. When we find our balance, we're then going to lunge forward until our legs are reasonably close to being parallel, and then we're going to come back up. And we're going to do this 10 times on each side, and then once we've done it on one side, we're going to go over to the other side. A progression of this movement is to add some dumbbells. So I've just got some really light 3 kilogram dumbbells, and I'm going to do the same movement. And adding weight on is really going to push your balance that extra bit more, and it's going to start building some strength in your legs. You're going to feel good. The next exercise we're going to do is a walking lunge. This exercise I love to throw in at the end of my leg day. These kill my glutes and my hamstrings like nothing else does. They really are so good at working the whole body. Your center of gravity changes so much in this movement, which is so good for really challenging your nervous system and really targeting your balance and coordination. I do 3 sets of 20 in the gym with 10 kg dumbbells in each hand, and by the end of it I'm sweating, my pulse is racing. This shows how unfit I am. My legs are quivering, I can barely hold the dumbbells, but it just feels great. It's a great exercise to love to hate, and it's a great exercise to really get your body moving and get your body used to your center of gravity changing as you move normally in your day-to-day life. So as the name suggests, it is really simple. We are just going to lunge, but we are going to walk. So it's a dynamic movement. We're going to be doing ideally 10 on each side, and we're going to have a nice little rest at the end. This movement is really good for building up strength in your glutes, in your hamstrings, in your core. It targets lots of different muscles. It targets lots of different nerves and limbs and body parts, so it really is fantastic as a all-rounder to improve your balance and coordination and get you feeling stronger. So if this is too much, you can use a TRX cable and just start by doing the normal lunges. If a walking lunge is a walk in the park for you, try adding some dumbbells, because I just believe that adding weight into workouts really challenges and forces the messages to flow in your nervous system. I'm not a doctor or physio, but I found that once I started adding weights and progressively adding more and more weight to exercises as I worked out, my balance and coordination improved like that. So if you feel like the walking lunge normally was too easy for you, try adding some weights onto it. Not only is it going to challenge your coordination and balance that bit more, you're also going to start really building up some strength and muscles in your legs, in your core, in all of your body, and you'll feel great. The next exercise we're going to do, I call the squat to leg abduction, but maybe it's more of a hip abduction. I don't really know. I'm not a personal trainer. This is just exercises that I have used from a personal experience. What we're going to do is we're going to squat down, and then we're going to drive back up, pushing with our heels and really trying to get as much explosive power as we can. And then we're going to balance on one leg and abduct our leg up diagonally. And we're going to keep doing that for 20 times, so that's 10 on each side. A progression of this movement is to add a resistance band. That way you are pushing against the resistance band and it is challenging your balance as you are pushing against this added resistance. You can use any kind of resistance band, light resistance, medium resistance, heavy resistance, as well as adding this resistance band, challenging your balance a little bit more. It's also going to start to burn your booty, and it's going to get a good burn. It's a great thing to do before a leg day to really activate your glutes, and it's something you can do at home to really build a strength in your legs and your bum. The last exercise I'm going to show you is an exercise for your core, because a strong core means better balance and coordination. All movement comes from your core. So having a strong one is great when you're experiencing some coordination and balance issues. To do this, we are going to use a Pilates mat or a yoga mat. If you don't have one of these, you can put a couple of towels down, just anything to support your bum bones on the floor, because we're going to be balancing on them. This is called a Russian twist, and to do it, you sit down and you balance on your bum bone with your feet on the floor. You lean back so that your back is at an angle but it's straight, and you're just going to move your arms from one side to the other. So try and get up to 20 and you will really start to feel a burn. Obviously your weight is going from each side, so it is targeting your balance and your coordination. If you want to progress this movement, you can add a dumbbell in to add a bit more resistance and weight and really strengthen your core. And a progression again is doing the same movement but lifting your legs up off the floor. So this is really going to target your balance because you are literally balancing on your little bum bones. So it really targets your coordination and your balance. And then another progression is to do that but with a dumbbell. A dumbbell, or if you're in the gym, a medicine ball. So those were my top 5 favorite exercises to target the two halves of the body and to improve balance and coordination. I really think that really addressing your weaknesses in your body after an MS relapse is how you are going to progress. As I said, the human body is so good at adapting. If we are stable at one level, how are we ever going to progress forward? So you have to target your weaknesses. That's what I did. When I started exercising after my relapse, I literally used to go into the bathroom and cry at the gym because I felt so terrible and so angry and frustrated that my body was not doing what I wanted it to do. But 3 years down the line, I've run a marathon and I go to the gym regularly and weight train, and I genuinely feel great. But a lot of hard work went into it, a lot of working out when I don't want to work out, a lot of really going into a dark, scary place of pushing my weak side to do things that it was not wanting to do. A lot of tears, a lot of frustration, but we've got to where I am and I'm so happy to be here. And if I can help any of you join me in this place as well, then that is just great. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you want to see any other top 5 or top exercises for specific body parts. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.